Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, June 22nd through Sunday, June 28th, 2020. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland for the main message for everyone. We also have a special message for everyone from the Archangel Divination deck right here. And then your special message card, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. Just a reminder that we are nearing the end of the month. So if you haven't already watched the monthly angel card reading for June, you might want to go back and review that to hear about all of the energies that we've had going on and how they might fit all together as far as the circumstances unfolding in your life. We're also getting near to the beginning of a new month, the month of July, so pretty soon within the next few days we will also have that monthly July angel card reading out for you. So be on the lookout for that as well. So let's start by taking a look at your stones of choice for this week. Your first stone of choice is called Golden Healer. This is the Golden Healer. It's a beautiful, round, cut and polished stone. This Golden Healer is a type of quartz. It's considered the master healer. It's one of the highest vibrations you can have here, and it clears blockages and imbalances. And it helps the body get ready for multi-dimensional healing. It opens up our consciousness to receive information and guidance from the highest levels, the higher dimensions. It helps to reach down into the cellular memory and release old behaviors and conditions and patterns. Helps us to connect to higher spiritual worlds or the higher spiritual world and join your consciousness with the divine. So beautiful, powerful stone there, Golden Healer. The second stone of choice is selenite. And the selenite is a stone of wisdom and spirituality. And it, of course, relates to the third eye chakra and the crown chakra, especially that crown chakra, opening one up to higher awareness, higher consciousness. It also deals with purity and peace and mental clarity, something that during this Mercury retrograde, a lot of us, I'm sure, could use is some mental clarity. It helps with universal consciousness, which is that connecting to God's source energy. Again, that open crown chakra, claircognizance ability with that open crown chakra. Also helps with access to the angelic realms. And this is kind of in a wand form. It's almost big enough to be a wand. So I'm going to call this the selenite wand for magical kind of experiences. And then your last stone of choice here, this one is called the Crimson Healer. It's a beautiful kind of crimson color, which is why they call it the Crimson Healer. This helps to support the root chakra because of its more red color. So that root chakra vibration, which rules our sense of being grounded, our sense of being focused. The root chakra rules security, matters of security, emotional security, and financial security. This Crimson Healer also awakens the Kundalini energies, that life force energy that kind of lies coiled at the base of our spine and then at certain times is activated for us and then rises up our chakras. It's a stone of feminine power and actually activates the feminine archetype and the earth goddess. It's a stone of alchemy, which is alchemy is about blending different forces together, sort of like working with divine magic. This actually does resonate to the archetypes of the magician and the high priestess. Carries some very high and conducts some very high divine energies from your inner world to the manifestation into the outer world. Okay, so that's a little bit about our stones of choice. Again, we have the Golden Healer, the Selenite, and the Crimson Healer. So let's start by taking a look at the astrological energies for this week. And I just have to go back and refresh your memories. I'm sure that you all remember that we had a full moon lunar eclipse on June 5th. which activated the beginning of some changes and redirections in our lives. And then last week on the 20th, 21st, which was the weekend of last week's reading, we had a new moon solar eclipse. Now on July 5th, as we kind of jump ahead, July 5th, or actually July 4th, we're going to be having another full moon lunar eclipse. Now, these eclipses intensify the energy dynamics of the new moons and the full moons in which they're associated with. New moons are about new beginnings and planting new seeds, and full moons are about completion, endings, and releasing and letting go. So we have this activation for June and July on endings and new beginnings. And the activation of the new beginning, which just occurred over this past weekend, is still in full force. And that leads us to Monday the 22nd, the beginning of this week. So depending on where you are in the world, this will happen either Monday the 22nd or Tuesday the 23rd. Neptune, the planet that rules the spiritual realms, the planet that rules things that are unseen or intangible, the planet that also rules confusion, delusion, and illusion, is turning to retrograde motion at 20 degrees of Pisces. Now, Neptune, again, does rule the spiritual realm, and this is where our spiritual guidance from our angels and guides and the different archetypes and the ascended masters and our ancestors of the light, the healers of the light, all kind of, as we see it or perceive it, reside in this spiritual world, this dimension that is unseen or intangible. Neptune turning to retrograde motion, just like any other planet, as it turns retrograde, or later on when it turns back to direct motion, it's intensifying the energies. So our sense of compassion and unconditional love, which is something that Neptune rules, is going to be heightened and intensified. Our empathic and psychic abilities, intuitive and healing abilities, all amplified and heightened. That energy of feeling confused may heighten. The energy of feeling ungrounded, because Neptune rules the spiritual realm, and hence it is a planet that is not very grounded on the physical third dimensional plane. So we might feel a little bit more ungrounded or disconnected from the third dimensional realm at this time that Neptune is turning to retrograde motion. It's also heightening or intensifying our ability to connect to the higher spiritual realms and all that it entails. It's also going to make us more energetically sensitive, not only to things like drugs and alcohol, but also other people's energies, situational energies, even chemicals and foods. We will become more energetically sensitive. Now, Neptune is retrograde for a really long time because it's an outer planet, a generational planet. It moves very slowly. It's going to be retrograde until the end of December 2020. So you can see that the time period most important for experiencing the intensification of this Neptune energy is going to be right now as it's turning retrograde, and then towards the end of December as it's turning back to direct motion. So a planet that goes retrograde turns the energies within, a little bit more inward. It becomes a little bit more internal. So rather than Neptune operating on an outer level, Neptune may operate more on an internal level. So we might be confusing ourselves. We might be deceiving ourselves. Neptune does rule deception. So there might be a little bit more deceptive energy going on in terms of how we're perceiving things and operating as a result of how we see things. We might be wearing rose-colored glasses a little bit more regarding the different circumstances and situations that are going on in our life. But it can also help the imagination. It can help the dream time. It can help our connection to our psychic senses and the other realms. And so this also, you know, there's a lot of good things to it, as well as a lot of maybe illusion, confusion things to it. So there's no good or bad with any of the planets or any of the energies, right? It's just a perspective, and it's how we filter the energy, how we use the energy, so to speak, with our own free will. So, but again, this time period, and I'm sure a lot of us were feeling it last week, especially around that new moon solar eclipse that we had, this energy of being a little bit more confused as far as certain situations or our direction or decisions that have to be made. maybe feeling a little bit more tired and usurped of our physical energy. Neptune can kind of have that effect as well, and since it's been slowing down, might intensify that energy. And there might be just a little bit, lack of groundedness, lack of focus that's going on at this time. Wednesday the 24th, Venus, that has been retrograde now for some time, is turning back to direct motion at 5 degrees of Gemini. Now, Venus, I believe, went all the way up to, I think it was 21 degrees of Gemini, and then turned retrograde. Now she's turning back to direct motion at 5 degrees of Gemini, and she'll still be in what we call the shadow period until about the end of July, which means that shadow period it's going to take until the end of July until she passes the degree that she was at when she first went retrograde. Okay, that's what that means. So that means that we're winding up something during this time period. Even though she's going back to direct motion, things may become a little bit more clear in regards to partnerships, relationships, our values, any kind of personal resources, as well as finances and money. Those things might start to slowly clear up. And again, Venus retrograde was a time period to where we needed to maybe sort things through and sort things out in regards to finances, money, which includes all of our personal resources and partnerships and relationships, our connections with other people, through communication, because she's in Gemini, and Gemini rules our thoughts, our ideas, and our communications. So that was really important over the last few weeks to use that communication through speaking, teaching, writing, etc., to try to make sense out of our relationships and our monetary situations. Now that she's going direct, things might be a little slow, but will start to maybe come together. Again, give it until the end of July, but things may start to come together regarding those things. And I feel like in Gemini, Gemini is that sign of duality anyway. So while Venus is in Gemini, there might be more than one potential place to get income from. Let's say, Venus ruling money and finances here. So Gemini means two or more. There's at least that sign of the twins means it indicates two. So there might be two thoughts, two avenues in order to create income or income potential, or more than two. Okay, so there's income maybe coming in from various places. There might also be income going out to various places depending on what's going on in your life. As far as relationships, this could have meant some sort of vacillation or needing to make a decision and being unsure as to what decision to make or when to make the decision or when to redirect yourself in some sort of relationship dynamic, whether it be romantic or business, professional, friendship, etc. Now the information is coming in. Now the information might start to make sense now that she's going back to direct motion. And we can then, over the weeks to come, make a clear decision. But don't forget that last week, Mercury went into retrograde motion. So Mercury does rule the mental realm, our decisions, our perceptions, our thoughts, our communications. So even though Venus is direct in Gemini, Mercury is the natural planet that rules Gemini, and Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. And I know that's like a lot of information about planets and signs, but with Mercury being retrograde, we still have a little while until things can start to clear up from a perception perspective. So if you can still hold off in making decisions, I feel like, once we get to Mercury turning back to direct motion in July as well, I feel like by the end of July, things might start to, make some sense for us. Things might start to become more clear. We might have all the information or all the puzzle pieces then in place in order to, make that decision or, kind of express ourselves in the way that we needed to family members or to significant others in our lives, because we're clear. When we're not clear, when we're expressing ourselves, things are going to be confusing. And the same when people are communicating to us. Things right now are just kind of a big jumbled mess of energy because of the eclipses kind of shaking things up right now. And it's best to wait until the dust settles, so to speak, from all this eclipse energy and Mercury retrograde and Venus now going direct and whatnot, until we can see clearly what the path is, how the path is unfolding before us, so to speak. On Saturday the 27th, Mars, which is the warrior, Mars, the planet that rules energy and action and forward movement, is moving out of Pisces, where he wasn't really in a comfortable place, because Mars is a fire planet and wants to go fast, move forward fast. Now Mars is moving into his home sign on Saturday the 27th. He's moving into Aries, that first sign of the zodiac, sign of initiation, sign of independence, sign of leadership, taking charge. And Mars is going to want to go full steam ahead as he moves into Aries. Now, Mars is going to spend a particularly long time in Aries because of a retrograde motion that he begins in September. We do have Mars for July and August, though, moving forward. So this is going to be a time period where things can really move forward in a faster paced way. Things can unfold more quickly while Mars is direct in Aries over the next couple of months. Once he goes retrograde in September until November, then things might slow down a little bit, but he's still going to be in Aries, so he's still going to, move at a pretty good speed, a pretty good clip. And then in November, mid-November, he'll turn back to direct motion in Aries and will not move out of Aries until January 2021. So he'll be in Aries for a very good long time, giving us that sense of confidence and courage and take charge, leadership ability, to be able to move forward in the way that we want to for things to unfold. So this is going to be like the second half of the year, so to speak, is our time to kind of make things happen, if you will. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides through the Psychic Tarot. Now, I had this card over here because when I first picked up the deck to start meditating on and pulling the cards for the week, this card fell out. It immediately jumped out of the deck and fell out onto the floor. And I felt like this was kind of an added bonus card, kind of to wind things up generally with everything else that we see here that's going to be coming out. So we're going to start with this card and we'll kind of end with that card here. So turning over the first card, okay, we have the Four of Mental is what it's called in this deck. This is like the Four of Swords or the Four of Air in the traditional tarot deck. Now, the air suit, the sword suit, the mental suit, of course, is all about the mental realm. Our thoughts, our ideas, our mind, our perceptions, our communications. And it says rest and rejuvenate. Now, this makes sense to me because of Neptune turning to retrograde motion. I feel like we're going to feel a little bit more mentally tired, okay? I feel like our energy, just from what's been going on, I feel like our head might have been in a tailspin for quite some time, and you just might feel more mentally as well as maybe physically even tired here. So there's a need to kind of rest and recharge the physical body, rest and recharge the mind. Here it's showing a young man in meditation. This is going to be a good stance for you to take too, is extra meditation time, alone time, contemplation time. If you can get out into nature, that will help to ground you and help you to focus as well. Because again, as I said, with the eclipses and Mercury retrograde and Venus having been retrograde, etc., things have been a little bit confusing, a little bit hairy, a little bit, like we're juggling a lot of things. We're juggling things with the new way of being out there in life because of what's been going on with the COVID virus. We're juggling things with our family and with employment matters and with trying to, make sure that we're financially secure and stable, and maybe our relationships have been a little challenged because of all that. So this is a time to kind of get that extra rest because your mind and your physical body definitely need it. Again, also meditation, as I said, will help to center and ground you a little bit. So at least I want to say in the beginning of the week, take some time to allow yourself some extra rest. Take care of your physical body. Take care of your mental health. Do some self-care is the message that I'm getting from this particular card. Now the second card, you see, comes out as two cards. Here it came out. So the first of those is the Five of Physical. This is like the Five of Pentacles in the traditional tarot, or the Five of Earth, the Five of Discs. The Five of Physical here says financial and material changes. Well, we definitely have been undergoing some financial and material changes, right? We've been in quarantine. People have not been going to their jobs. Maybe some of you have lost your jobs, or hours have been reduced, or you've been trying to work from home, or you've been now trying to supplement with other types of income, maybe government income, maybe trying to find another, job on the side or something you can do to create some money, maybe creating a new business. So there's definitely financial and material changes that are happening. They have been happening, and it looks like they're continuing to happen here. The number 5 talks about multiple and various kind of directions or avenues or possibilities or potentials here. So I want to say that we're looking into various directions. We're looking at various potential and possibilities as far as how do I create some financial stability, or how am I, juggling my money, my personal resources, my assets. The 5 of discs, or the 5 of earth, here the 5 of physical, sometimes it's challenging. Sometimes it's showing us that we're feeling challenged in this particular aspect of our life. And not just with money. This is about everything that's physical and third dimensional, like our careers and our jobs and, home situations, money situations. Those things that we tend to, on a third dimensional world, reality basis. Those are the things that might be confusing or might be shaken up a little bit. And this is saying that there are changes. And again, with these eclipses, there are changes in the air in many different areas. And it looks like this is one of those areas. But let's see what came out with this particular card before we, look at it from too much of a challenging viewpoint. Let's see what this card is right here. Okay, well, this is number 1, the base chakra. This particular deck has the chakras in it. So the root chakra, the base chakra comes out here. And the root chakra, base chakra is about matters of security, personal security, financial security, even emotional security, feeling like we're on solid footing, solid ground, feeling focused, feeling like we can manifest something. If you can see here, it's almost like we see this box here, this geometrical shape in the middle of the card, but it's surrounded with a box with 4 corners, which usually sits solid on the ground, right? A box doesn't roll around unnecessarily. It's got a solid foundation to it. So this is a matter about trying to take what might be a little bit all over the place, with that number 5 energy kind of being a little bit chaotic and confusing, and we're needing to find more solid footing, solid ground, personal security. So I just feel like in the middle of the week, especially again, as I said, Venus is turning back to direct motion. And with Venus turning back to direct motion, I feel like maybe not right away because she's in Gemini, so there's still some vacillation going on. But eventually, as she starts to speed up, and since she's going back in direct motion, we might be able to come up with the solutions. Because Gemini likes to get the information to come up with a solution. Gemini is the sign of the mind. And with Venus being in Gemini, gathering information, gathering ideas is going to bring about a solution as far as how we kind of, bring some stability in here, how we bring a sense of focus and groundedness and security and stability to all of these changes, financially and otherwise, that are going on in our lives. Now let's look at this last card over here. Oh, this is a good card to end with. This is the 1 of physical, like the 1 of earth, the 1 of discs, the 1 of pentacles. This is prosperity begins. And you can see that there's 2 hands overlapping one another. So you can see that there's 2 people here. So 2 or more people coming together and planting this beautiful tree with solid roots in the ground is going to produce this abundance and prosperity, this wonderful fruit, this wonderful blessings. So ending with the 1 of physical is saying that there's a new beginning. There's a new beginning coming up here in order to move forward. It might be something that's brand new. It might be something we're starting from scratch. It might be something that we're partnering with somebody else, 1 or more people, to begin. Maybe it's beginning a new business. Maybe it's beginning a new project. Maybe it's, you beginning a new job because somebody turned you on to the information about it. You know, maybe a family member or a friend or somebody directed you in the right way to whatever this new beginning is. But whatever the new beginning is, and of course we just had the solar eclipse this past weekend, right? The weekend before. So whatever this new beginning is, it's like planting new seeds with the solar eclipse, and that new seed, that new intention is going to grow, and it's going to produce some fruit. It's going to produce some blessings of abundance and prosperity eventually. So we're in the planting stage right now. We're in the initiation stage. It's kind of that stage where if you plant a seed in your garden, you might know what you're planting as far as the seed, right? The seed it might be a tomato seed, it might be a carrot seed, you know, who knows what that seed is. You know, you usually know the seed that you're planting, but you don't know exactly how many is going to come up out of the ground, you know, based on how many seeds you plant. They might not all grow. You might not know how big it's going to get. You might not know exactly what it's going to look like. But you do know that you have to be patient and wait and give it nurturing and give it love and give it attention in order for this to grow. So I would say the same thing with whatever project or job or relationship or financial opportunity you have going on here, whatever this new beginning signifies. Have patience, give it love, work with other people if it's in the cards to do so, and watch the blessings grow and expand from that. Be patient with it. Mars, again, is just moving into Aries at the end of this week, and it's going to be in Aries for 6 months or so. So that gives us plenty of time to put our energy towards initiating something new and to watch what blooms from it as a result. Now let's look at this card over here at the beginning that I said flipped out of the deck when I first picked the deck up to kind of maybe put it all together. We'll see what happens. Oh, yes. Major Arcana number 13. In this deck, it's called Transformation. In the traditional tarot, this is the Death card, which signifies death and rebirth, transformation and change, regeneration, transmutation. I mean, this is about some huge internal changes that are going on around you. Changes in your belief systems, changes in your perceptions, changes in your own energy dynamic, changes in direction that are happening for you. All of these changes are bringing about a transformation, an inner transformation, and eventually an outer transformation of what's occurring and happening in your life. You can see by the look on her face that she might be a little bit maybe taken aback or a little bit maybe even worried, a little bit unsure about all the changes and transformation that's going on. But she still has these beautiful, to me, these are wings here. I don't know if she's a fairy, maybe she's an angel. She is dressed in green, which indicates heart chakra energies, right? Unconditional love. But there's something new transforming. Her wings are coming out. She's expanding. Her energetic soul is expanding. She's going to be in a place of expressing something new after the transformation takes place. So allow the death and rebirth to happen. Allow the endings and new beginnings to happen, both inside of you and outside of you. Ask for direction and guidance as we move through, or as you move through this transformation and change. And I'm sure that by the time it's all said and done, however long that takes for each of us as an individual, this is where we're going to get to. We're going to get to this new beginning. We're going to get to this wonderful, blessed new beginning where, you know, some sort of prosperity, abundance, and blessings can come to light. Now let's look at the angel card for the angel guidance for this particular week. Okay, I love this card. I always love seeing this card. Archangel Uriel, brilliant idea. It says, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. And look at all the wonderful yellow and orange colors. This is kind of lighting up the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra. So we have kind of the lower 3 chakras here that are focused on. We have the root chakra, the base chakra, matters of security. This is also the chakra where manifestation takes place, where we can manifest something into 3D reality, right? Then we have the orange for the sacral chakra, which is creative self-expression and feeling passionate about something. We have all the gold or the golden yellow here, which is the solar plexus chakra, which is our center of power, our center of that rules our confidence, our courage, our leadership ability, our take charge ability. And he's on a unicorn Pegasus. And that unicorn Pegasus is kind of bucking up in the air, and he's getting ready to shoot his arrow directly at something. And I feel like that Pegasus is getting ready to either gallop forward or take off in flight, you know, whatever it wants to do there. It's getting ready for movement. And Archangel Uriel is the archangel that rules, to me, our mental bodies, our flashes of insight, our perceptions, our aha moments, giving us like the quick little lightning bolt visualizations of ideas, or visualization of thoughts that kind of pop into our head. This is claircognizance. This is that claircognizance with Archangel Uriel, to where ideas just pop in, or we channel some divine communication, or this thought is just the perfect idea that we need to follow up on, or whatever it might be. So listen to what's going on in your head. Watch for the vision. Listen to the auditory messages, so use all of those clairs, especially the claircognizance, maybe the clairaudience, in order to move forward in some way with some brilliant kind of aha moment idea that you have here. And Archangel Uriel is helping to direct that with his arrow, and whatever that is, I feel like this is something that could be very creative, very energetic and passionate. I feel like this is just a very positive indication of the good, excuse me, the good that is potentially coming up as a result of the weeks ahead, the weeks unfolding, even the months unfolding of these eclipse energies. Okay, let's go ahead. I don't know what's going on with my throat, but let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card, depending on your stone of choice. Okay, Golden Healer. Special message card for Golden Healer. Golden Healer. I'm just closing my eyes and giving this a little shuffle. Golden Healer special message for the week. Golden Healer special message. Special message for Golden Healer people. Okay, you know what? I got to pull two of them, because the one on the top and the one on the bottom are both calling to me. So I'm going to pull those out, put the deck down here, and we're going to turn over. We got first chakra, Archangel Michael. First chakra is that root chakra again. Archangel Michael is the archangel of protection and guidance. He's the archangel that guides us to the next step on our highest and most important destiny path. He's the archangel that can pull cords, that can help to release us from any negative attachments, negative energies, thought forms, or other connections to people or circumstances that we no longer need to hold on to. Part of the eclipses is letting go of the old. Archangel Michael can definitely help with that if you call him in. So call in Archangel Michael to clear, protect, guide, and help to bring in a sense of security on manifesting the next step on your path, which is this first chakra. The card that came out with it, Caring Connections. So it has that kind of reminiscent energy of the two hands here in this card, the two hands of two or more people coming together, maybe working together to create prosperity. This is caring connections that are showing someone in your life. Now, it could be romantic, could be business, could be friendship, could be family. Those people that we truly care about. If there's one thing that this pandemic has showed us, is to pay attention to those in our lives that really mean something, the ones that we're emotionally connected to, our friends, our family, our loved ones. Those are the people that we can count on. Those are the people that count on us. And coming together with those caring connections to create this sense of security and stability, and to move forward in a more grounded, secure way towards whatever it is we're supposed to. I feel like, this is even calling in Archangel Michael to help protect your family, to help protect your relationships. And not that anything terrible is going to happen to family or relationships, but again, we might be tested, right? There might be some chaos going on. We might be tested with some of the events and situations unfolding, some of the energies going on. Whenever people are under financial strain or job strain, that can bring in some challenges, because we're not feeling totally balanced. We're not feeling totally centered. So remember who's there for you. Remember who's there for you, and call in Archangel Michael as well to help guide you in this time. All right, so those of you that chose the selenite, special message for selenite people. The one on the bottom is calling my attention. Ooh, we're definitely gonna have to pull a clarification card for this. This is deceit. So this is about that Neptune turning to retrograde motion and how it can have this deception kind of quality. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is trying to deceive you, although it could. This could just mean that the energies right now are deceptive. The energies are unclear. The energies are unfocused. That's all Neptune going retrograde. Things are always unclear, unfocused, and ungrounded when Neptune is heightened the way it's being heightened right now as it's turning retrograde. So I want to say to just be aware. Be aware of people's communications. Be aware of the circumstances and situations that you find yourself in. Just be aware of people's motives. And again, it might not just be about other people and their motives. It might be energy within yourself to where you're just confused and unsure, and maybe you're deceiving yourself about something. Maybe you have a certain belief system that needs to be looked at and perhaps reevaluated. So whatever this is, I want to say that we have to give it some time for it to kind of work itself out. We have to give it some time for Neptune to kind of fully move into its retrograde pattern, for maybe this energy of unsureness or unclarity to kind of open up. Things might be a little bit of an illusion right now. Things might be a little bit confusing right now, but let's go ahead and pull a clarification card or more information clarification for that deceit card. More information, clarification for the deceit card. Okay, the one on the bottom is calling my attention, so we're going to pull that out. Door to value. So I feel like the deception and deceit is regarding finances and money. Now, again, it doesn't mean that somebody's trying to deceive you or take your money, although there are situations out there, unfortunately, where people take advantage of other people, and especially at this time with so much chaos in the world. So do be careful of that. But even more so, I feel like this is about you valuing yourself. And as you value yourself, like in order like to get, say, this income rolling in, like I feel like you're deceiving yourself as far as how much value you're putting on yourself and your own sense of self-worthiness. I feel like you're deceiving yourself in regards to feeling like you can't create the income that you want, or you're deceiving yourself that you think that like things are, what am I going to do? Or I'm going to have to move because I don't have the money, or I'm going to have to not do this anymore because I don't have the finances, or I'm not going to get this job, or my job's going to be over, whatever it is. I feel like there's a lot of deception kind of within yourself going on right now as far as money and finances, which you can see all this money kind of floating around. So don't deceive yourself regarding what's really happening. Have faith, have trust. Know that the universe can perform magical miracles. Know that your angels and guides are guiding you towards solutions if you just ask for the guidance and are open with awareness to the solutions that they may provide you. So I feel like this is more of a deceptive energy within yourself. And again, it says the door to value. So this is also about you valuing yourself. If you're feeling like life is falling apart and I'm not good enough, or I can't, or I won't, or it'll never, whatever, those phrases that come into our head, then it's like you not valuing yourself, or not feeling worthy and deserving for blessings to come in, or worthy and deserving for guidance to come in, or worthy and deserving for things to turn around and change. We're all kind of going through this shakeup together. We're all going through some crises, some challenges. It's not fun, and it is very challenging and difficult. But this is saying that you have to value yourself and see your own worthiness, feel your own worthiness. Value the talents and gifts that you have to offer the world. If you're looking for, say, a new job, or you're trying to start a new business, or you're working on a project and you're struggling because you feel like you don't have the skills, and yet, it's a time right now that we're not readily having people come over to our homes and help us, or to come to our jobs and help us with certain things. Value your skills, value who you are, value what you have to offer the world, because as you value yourself, it's going to create more financial blessings and other potential possibilities, more other blessings to be coming into your life. So to open the door to any kind of blessings or value, it means to open the door to valuing yourself as well. I'm going to keep that card on top, actually. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the special message for the people that chose the Crimson Healer. Deep breath. And yes, you're going to get 2 cards. Everybody seems to be getting 2 cards, so you will too. So Crimson Healer people, special message for Crimson people. Special message, Crimson. This one's sticking out. I'm going to put that down for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and, actually this one's calling me too. So we're going to actually choose that for the second card. Let's put that aside now. The bottom card was first. Ooh, love Archangel Chamuel. So we got the 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel. This is about your sense of power. This is you owning your power, taking your power back, having confidence, stepping into your leadership abilities, having courage, having a sense of will, moving forward. This is like Mars and Aries. This is like Mars and Aries at full force here. Being confident, moving forward, feeling empowered. And Archangel Chamuel is the archangel that helps us with our life purpose. Also the archangel that helps us with our soulmate relationships. So we're going to have to see what that second card is in a minute. But definitely this is about standing up, standing your ground, taking charge, not backing down, having good boundaries, feeling, again, inspired, feeling a sense of take charge leadership ability to kind of go full steam ahead with something, somehow. Let's take a look at the second card here. Ooh, a man holding a heart. Well, isn't that interesting? So this could be about being confident in some sort of relationship matter. Maybe it's you being confident about a decision that you're making about a relationship matter. Whenever I see this card, sometimes I feel like, the man is the other person in the relationship and he's got our heart. He's holding on to our heart. And it's a very difficult thing to kind of take our heart back, so to speak, or to be our own entity, because the man has our heart. But so this doesn't have to be a negative. However, this can be about you being confident in yourself. This can be about your self-confidence and standing on your own 2 feet and taking back this energy from the man who holds your heart. Now, it doesn't mean you have to end the relationship necessarily, but maybe this is about setting boundaries. Maybe this is about speaking your truth. Maybe this is about saying, you know what, this has been out of balance for a while, and I want things to be more equal. And maybe you can say that, of course, it's always good to say I instead of you, right? Instead of saying you did this or you did that, you want to say I feel this way when. I feel this way when. So here you want to just state your truth and maybe take back a little bit of energy that you might feel like you've given away to somebody, okay? That's one interpretation of this. Another interpretation is that if there's some sort of, looking for a new relationship or even if you're in an existing relationship, that you need to have more confidence in yourself. I feel like Archangel Chamuel here is saying, have more confidence in yourself and hold on to your own personal power here. And to me, what they're saying right now is that as you own your personal power and you have more confidence in yourself, it actually makes you more attractive to the other person, usually. Now, if it doesn't make you more attractive to the other person in the relationship by you owning your power, then there's something really out of balance with the relationship that needs to be looked at. But to me, the more confidence each individual in the relationship has, the more you can come together as an empowered couple. And since Archangel Chamuel does rule soulmate relationships, I mean, he does kind of help with our soulmate relationships. I want to say that someone new might be coming in, or an existing relationship can be strengthened, is what I feel. Okay, an existing relationship can be strengthened, but you have to own your confidence, you own your truth and own your power in order for that to happen. Again, Venus is just turning to direct motion. So communication is the key. Having open, honest, clear communication is the key. And it might take a few times of communication, since Mercury is retrograde right now, in order for things to be settled and worked out. But this to me can be a very positive thing, or again, if you need to take back your power and the other person doesn't like that, then there's definitely something that needs to be looked at regarding who this person is holding your heart. Okay, I'm going to keep Archangel Chamuel here on the open, or on the top. All right, so I hope everyone has liked and enjoyed this weekly angel card reading. Oh boy, next week I believe we're going to be getting into that last lunar eclipse, so be sure to tune in for next week's reading. Thank you all so much for your love, your comments, your support, watching me on Facebook, on my 2 Facebook pages, coming to my website, supporting me that way as well. Those of you that have signed up for readings or purchased product from me, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Sending you all lots of love and light, and sending you during this time of change and transformation many, many angel blessings.